So my last call today was a shower problem. The hot valve was hard to turn, so the customer wanted some options on repairs versus replacements. So we walked in. The first thing that I noticed, David was with me as well. The first thing we noticed is we smelled gas. So I was like, interesting, we need to say something about that at some point. But I didn't want to alarm anybody, so I went with the call, took a look at the shower, got him some options for replacements, repairs, looked up the parts. He decided he wanted to go with the repair option. Good enough. So we got the parts ordered. We're gonna have to come back sometime next week once they come in, or late this week possibly, and get that repaired. So my next line of order was, let me get a gas sniffer and just make sure that I'm not mistaking that this is a gas smell. Maybe it's a weird smell in their house or something. I turned my gas sniffer on. If you guys have ever used a gas sniffer before, you let it, kind of calibrate outside. I have a $200, $300 UEI gas sniffer. It's nothing, anything special, but I let it calibrate outside, let it get to 0, and then I walked in and it immediately was just like, it was going wild right as I walked into the house. So I kind of had no choice but to inform the customer that, hey, this is a safety hazard and I'm going to shut your gas off at your meter for literally safety. So I went ahead and did that. The customer was upset that I shut his gas off because he told me that it was a little extreme. Now, he also said that in the past 17 years that he has lived in this house, he's always gotten a small whiff of gas as he walked in that front door. So there's my first red flag, that this has been going on for quite some time and nobody's taking care of this. Now, he did have an issue with, he said, oh, well, I've had your company out multiple times. Why haven't they caught it? I just had a heating and cooling system installed recently. Why didn't they catch it then? I said, maybe it wasn't this bad. Maybe it wasn't leaking like this, 3 months ago when we were here. I don't know. I wasn't here, but I am here today and I'm shutting your gas off because it's a safety hazard. Now, you got to remember that these conversations are tough to have, and I never like having these conversations with customers at all, but it's my job as the professional to keep people safe, okay? In the sense that I walk into somebody's house and I smell that amount of gas. Like, I was only in his house diagnosing this shower cartridge issue for maybe 10 minutes. I had a small headache. I can't imagine what him and his wife had. They're probably numb to it by now, so they're not noticing those effects, but it's not safe to be in a house that's filled with gas. Simple as that. We have to be the ones that stick out and stand out and tell them, hey, we're going to shut this gas off and make create a safe environment here. We need to air out the system. We need to make sure that we can come back and figure out what's going on, because had he called Ameren, the gas company, I guarantee you 100% they would lock the meter out. They'd have to get a city inspection and pressure test and have Ameren come back out to unlock the meter. Well, we're trying to help him by saying, hey, we'll take we'll shut the gas off here and we'll be out tomorrow morning to start looking for the gas leak. And in this case, we're still going to do a gas pressure test just to make sure we're covering our butts, because we want to make sure everything's going to be fixed correctly. There's a long time customer that's been with our company for years, and we want to make sure that they stick with us. But his frustration today kind of blows my mind, because I'm physically just trying to keep him safe, keep myself safe, keep my employees safe that are with me, and also cover my company's butt. Like, dude, if for some reason I didn't say anything about that tonight and that house exploded because there's gas in it, that's on my conscience that somebody could have got hurt or died, and that's also on my company's conscience. So it's truly unacceptable had I not done those actions today. I understand that the customer was upset. That's too bad. It comes down to safety. You've got to be safe. Don't mess with gas. Just call a professional, all right? Have a good rest of your Monday, and don't mess with gas.